Hello and welcome to the Mind Over Chatter podcast. This is where we get into unfiltered conversations about the world we live in. From society's mess to those random thoughts that hit a little too close to home. It's real talk, real issues, and yeah, a little bit of chaos. Let's get into it. Hello everyone, I'm your host Nika and I'm joined by my co-hosts here.
Hello, I'm Chris.
Hi, I'm Ella.
What's up? My name is Rai and welcome to the first episode of our podcast.
Okay, so everyone, how are you today?
Hello. Guys, how are you guys?
All good, missing you guys.
I would say I'm good, but it's literally so hot in the Philippines right now. Like, we're all sweating and everybody is hot-headed right now because of the hot weather.
This was joy. Even if it's really hot today, but I'm still so excited because we're starting our first episode of this new podcast.
Yeah.
Italy.
So we planned and we draw the plan of our podcast for over a year, but then it didn't get started because of our busy schedules. But here we are grabbing the opportunity because it's Lenten season, so we all have a lot of free time. Anyway, so today I wanted to talk about something so close to home, literally. Like we all love being, Filipino. I mean, who doesn't?
That depends.
So parang may hindi Filipino dito. We're known for our very good Filipino traits like being hospitable, having strong family values, and resilience. But let's be honest. We also have some traits that aren't exactly our proudest moments. Yep, I'm talking about toxic Filipino trait. Okay, starting with what Filipino toxic trait? We have this, we call it crab mentality. So what's crab mentality, by the way?
Sino naka-experience na dito na parang crab mentality siya? Ano yun?
Parang crab mentality. Anong na-experience mo, Rai? Bakit nasabi mo na-experience mo na ang crab mentality? Would you like to share it with us?
Well, there are a lot of times talaga guys na hindi mawawala sa isang tao yung term na I think they tend to compare themselves with other people, especially other people in success. And then the way they compare it, instead of using positive words, they tend to talk negative words behind their back. So, you just have to watch out for those guys. And yeah, sino pang naka-experience ng crab mentality dito?
What about you, Chris?
Not so cool.
So far,
I've never experienced that one, so secondly.
Don't worry guys, we'll get used to this.
Yeah, but I've known a lot of my friends who've experienced that kind of Okay, can you share us the story of one of your friends who experienced crab mentality?
You, the two of us.
Oh, I get you.
In the
So is this like okay? It's a secret. Yeah, but then when we talk about crab mentality, this refers to cooling others down, right? Like when person A is starting to succeed and then person B is jealous and then person B is trying to cool person A down so that he or she will fail.
Yes.
instead of celebrating
Yeah.
their success.
So there's sometimes envy and discouragement. How can we try to outgrew this kind of mentality? What do you guys think?
Kusimda.
Once she's going to church, of course. That's one way.
Okay.
I have like a really, really great cure.
What is it?
Mind your own business.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like crab mentality is a mindset that just limits not just individuals but like the community as a whole. So crab mentality is really one of those toxic Filipino traits that many Filipinos are still practicing. Ginagawa pa rin to ng karamihan sa atin. Right? Another one was
And yeah. No, I'm going to add about crab mentality.
okay.
And some people, they thought that they don't have this trait. They just don't realize they lack self-awareness when it comes to having this kind of mentality because they thought that that other people's success is kind of
To people that, so there are a lot of people, yeah, who thinks that they doesn't have this character trait, which is the crab mentality. But as what Rai said, maybe those people lack self-awareness. They don't really know who they really are. Maybe they didn't look in the mirror every morning.
or they just don't care.
Okay. Yeah, kind of like. Yeah, so that's crab mentality. So how can we avoid this one? It's like, as what Ella said, mind your own business. And always go to church, was it? And then makinosol ta sa atong mga sada because it's Lenten season. I mean, who doesn't repent for their sins that they made for like a whole year, kind of love. Okay.
Yes, Ella.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Anyway, that's one toxic Filipino trait, which is the crab mentality. What else? What about you, Chris?
Yeah, I have one thing in mind.
What was it?
Utang na loob.
Okay, can you
Yeah,
share
that's
it?
very common.
Yeah.
Utang na loob, by the way.
By the way, guys, Chris has a cough.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. It's bad timing.
But she's here with us. Okay, sa utang na loob, what's your view on that?
I've heard like a lot of stories, like either on the internet, like Facebook, or on the news, like a lot of families that like couldn't get away from their parents' place or their house because their parents would like tell them like you can go because I fed you, I raised you, so you have to like stay with us. So like, feed us along with your parents and aunts.
Yeah, especially in social medias now, of like mostly of them are the influencers, if you heard about them. So it's like when the time comes na like alam mo yun, like sumikat na sila, like andun na sila sa
Pedestal.
yeah, and then one day parang bigla na lang like there's an issue about them with their parents, like you should have not like forgot about us kasi like sikat ka na or something. So parang doon na yung pupasok na like utang na loob, like and yeah.
And they would make you feel guilty
Yeah.
for not helping them or for not giving them something in return.
So in other words, this utang na loob really starts within the family.
Yeah.
Yeah, it starts with who nurtures you, like who you grow up with most of the time, especially Filipino parents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There really are some families like that. Like, pinag-aral kita, kaya sumunod ka sa gusto ko. Like, what?
That's the classic Filipino trait.
We're already in the modern age.
Like it's not wrong to like follow their orders or like their requests, but there's like limit to how much you can give. You can give or you can do for them.
Yeah.
So what is the limitation of this utang na loob? Is there a limitation to this, or are we really willing to give all, or is there like we set boundaries and this is just like what I can give, what I can give in return, or what do you think, those?
Like yeah.
Go.
So basically, because we ang una kasing na-mention natin is about family, no? So let's just talk about it. I think it's I don't know if it's another topic already, but if we talk about family, it's like between the parent and their children. It's like the topic is parang it's all about their children becoming their like investment. So I don't think I don't know if I think it will take us a day to talk about it, but yeah.
Can I add something to that? So you mentioned that the children became an investment to their parents. So for example, I mean I'm going to add something to that. You mentioned, 'di ba, na nagiging investment na yung mga anak ng mga parents, especially yung mga parents na they still lack financial capability.
Oh yeah.
Especially
But
those.
the parent side, it's like
the relatives in general, like, or kung sino mang nagpapalaki sa'yo, like something. But yeah, going back.
Yeah, I have like another thing about that. Let's say, have you heard like people that you know they have like 10 siblings or 15 siblings?
Yes, yeah.
Because it's like a really old Filipino, like it's something that's embedded in the Filipino culture. Our great grandparents before, like it's their mindset to like have a lot of children so that they can invest to them, like have like someone that will take care of them when they grow up. So if this, like the eldest won't take care of them, there's another one and there's another one. So it
becomes cycle. Yeah. Going back to what I want to add. So, since children, especially as millennials, di ba guys? Most likely millennials na nagiging ano tayo what do they call? They have this term like we are the sandwich generation.
What do you mean by sandwich generation? Like,
It's
rye.
it's more like we tend to give something in return to our parents or guardian or relatives in between. But at the same time, we also need to take care and to sustain the needs of our other siblings. Especially at our age right now, like late 20s or early 30s, they expect us something most likely financial, I think, is the first factor.
Like the breadwinner?
Yeah, breadwinner. Yeah, breadwinner is another factor. Some people kasi kapag nakikita nila na gumagaan na yung buhay mo, or even those Filipinos na nasa abroad, they think na marangya na yung buhay. So
Yes, exactly.
yeah, 'di ba? So they will ask you, they will ask for favors na it's okay to ask, 'di ba guys?
Like, uy, pautangin mo naman ako kahit magkano.
Tinulungan naman kita.
I've been there for you because like,
Oh, friends 'di ba tayo, 'di ba? We're very close tayo ng pinsan. Close kami ng mama mo. 'Di ba ganun yung mga term nila. And without thinking kung ano yung journey na pinagdaanan ng
isang breadwinner or like kahit sino, like who's really striving to get better futures.
Or basically who's starting to earn money.
Yeah.
That's why isang factor din siguro is social media. Like when they see someone na they know na medyo okay siya tignan on social media, and they would just like, have you experienced it, Chris?
Like what?
Someone PM'd you and then, wow, ang ganda na ng life mo.
Oh yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Like your relatives, not just your relatives. Or friends.
Well, thankfully, not from my relatives, but like friends who are not
friends.
even like
Like
close
close to you?
close to me.
Like
yeah.
someone that you were classmates with in first grade.
Yeah.
Grabe yun, namang hutang na loob mo.
Someone wala talaga like mutual like
You
friend.
are pencil.
Yeah.
Uy, pinahiram kita ng eraser nung araw.
Just help them na rin.
Hiramin ng pera ngayon.
Yeah, so fun.
Yeah, I mean, utang na loob is a very broad topic.
Yeah. Wish we could talk about it.
Yeah, we can talk about this specific topic on
Respect for elders is important, yes, but it shouldn't be used to control us or guilt trip us. That's the second toxic Filipino trait. Another one is what? What about the hiya or shame culture, like staying silent to avoid embarrassment, even when like speaking up matters. Like, uy, bakit ka what do you call this one? Wait, ano ba yun?
hiya or
Hiya or shame culture. Ayokong humingi ng kasi nakahiya, ganun.
you don't want to,
Or,
on what factor, like getting help?
yeah, like, I don't want to reason out because maybe somebody would reject my argument and nakakahiya, ganun.
Okay.
So that's also one of, have you experienced something like that? Like, you are holding back. You're holding back your ideas and your thoughts, and then you don't want to speak up, even though you're confident that you're right, because you're nahihiya. Kasi maybe you're wrong, or maybe you're not.
Yeah, I think we all do.
Mm. So at some point.
At some point.
Yeah, but not most times, di ba? Kasi ako, for me, I speak my mind. So, I don't know, I just pinpoint kung whatever I want to say. Most likely. Kayo ba, guys? Do you have that feeling na I'm not going to speak out kasi nahihiya ako na baka ma-reject ako. Nahihiya ako na baka pagtawanan nila ako.
Yes. And then,
Or something like they would correct me in that way.
and then some actions, like, because like, karamihan ng, especially our parents, they would often say, wag mong gawin yan kasi anong sasabihin ng ibang tao through your actions. So kind of like, let's also, the mindset that pushes, Filipinos or other people to make decisions based on what they feel or based on what they quote. So it discourage openness to someone.
Yeah, ikaw Nika, may experience ka ba dyan?
From Hiya culture, I haven't experienced it yet. But then I've heard stories from my neighbors.
Oh.
Yeah, so like there is this a mother and son. So this son of her is doing something that ikinakahiya ng magulang niya. So one day they are fighting, like everybody in the neighborhood. No, not everybody in the neighborhood, but then everybody who's living nearby to their houses heard their argument. So the son argues with the mom because the son is, have parang nakakahiya yung ginawa
Okay,
ng son.
for our listeners,
Yeah.
pwede ba bang sabihin kung ano yung
Can I?
nila?
So there is a third part. The son already has a family, but then, like yeah, kind of like
Yeah.
And then the mother was furious because his son was doing them. Then the son naman is, yung anak naman niya is parang wala lang, nakikipagtalo pa talaga sa mama niya na siya yung tama, kind of like so. And then the mom, I heard that the mom said, ano na lang kayang sasabihin ng mga kapitbahay natin pag nalaman nila na ganyan. So it's also, though the cheating part of the son is not really entirely right, but then the words of the mom discouraging his son and saying, ano na kayang sasabihin ng ibang tao, which is also dapat tinitake nung anak niya. But then yung anak niya ay parang still pushes through whatever he think is right, even though
It's really wrong.
it's really wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like.
Yeah, I get that. I mean,
That's like what other
It's
people
like-
will say.
is it like the mom tolerates his son or
The mom doesn't have a choice, but because his son already did the deed.
okay?
So the son break up with the first wife and then nakikisama sa ikalawang love of his life. So the mom, even though the mom complains and the mom, tutol sa ginawa ng anak niya, parang she doesn't have a choice because that's his son's life. But anyway,
Yeah, I mean that's their problem.
that's their problem. Let's not delve into that. So that's also the third Filipino toxic trait. What else? What about the
Same.
Marites? Yeah, what is it, Ella? It's your time to shine now.
Still about shame.
Yeah, okay.
So another thing that I've heard stories about, this might be a little heavy.
What is it?
There sometimes like your uncle or like someone in your family like does something inappropriate to a younger
Okay.
person, and then another
Yes,
like
yes.
an older person in the family, like the grandparents or the parents, will say something like, maybe let's just keep it in the family because like what will others say about this, because like that's your uncle, it's your big brother. So sometimes they just like don't say anything.
They would cover up for their
For the sake of their family reputation.
reputation.
So, which is also kind of like a little bad because We're talking about law and justice here.
And we're talking about family. So it's really hard to balance things out. Especially if, yeah.
I actually didn't expect that you will be talking about it, guys, because yung nasa isip ko lang is the very light form of shame. Ang nasa isip ko lang is about like the setting was in the classroom. like that's why basically you're in the classroom and you want to participate and I didn't have my grade sense kasi naiiyak. That's lang nasa isip ko about shaming and to add up, it's like
She did warn us though. That is heavy.
It's heavy.
Guys.
That's why this is where we get into unfiltered conversations about the world we live in.
but do I yung sinasabi ko na belong pa doon?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
And there is like different levels of
Okay.
Shame, yeah.
Okay.
And it's very subjective.
Yeah.
But when it comes to morality, like what Ella said, it's not subjective. It's more of like a fact that needs to, needs to cut down.
Yes, yeah.
I have another.
What is it?
Yeah, go
No,
for it.
this one is like not as heavy. This is like I would say like my insecurity when I was younger.
Oh,
But
what
now
is it?
it's not. Now it's not. I know I am strong. Like physically, like I'm strong.
We're
But
proud of you.
when I was younger,
Like how young?
I'd say like
Think about-
first grade, second grade, third grade, around
Oh,
like
primary, yeah, okay.
around the time like when there's like an event in school and you have to like lift your chairs
Okay.
to carry it to the function hall. It's wooden chair, so it's heavy.
It's heavy.
But I can carry it. Like a lot of like male classmates can carry like 2, and I can too carry like 2 on my arms.
Yeah.
Well, you're
But-
really strong.
But like all of my classmates, like the girls, are like they would like say something like, "I can't carry it.
Okay.
It's so heavy."
I know a lot.
Okay. It's not. And then something that they would like my grandparents or my uncles would tell me like the phrase. I really hated this phrase when I was younger. Like kababae mong tao. I hated it.
Babae mong tao.
Like
Bakit
what's
ganun
so
ka
strong
gumalaw?
about being strong?
Yes, yes. And for this time of age, I think the kababae mong tao doesn't apply to this age
Yeah,
anymore.
what does it even mean? Like kababae mong tao. So,
Yeah.
so
I didn't expect that.
So, El, because of that, you try not to show them,
How strong you are as a person or physically.
or she's not trying to be herself.
yeah, like I remember those times I would just instead of carrying my chair, I would just drag it. Like, oh my god, so heavy.
So like you are
Just pretend that
I would
yeah.
just pretend that it's like I can't do it.
enough to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's also one of those toxic Filipino traits. Because being Filipino is not just about celebrating the good, but also, recognizing areas where we can grow. So these toxic traits don't define us, but they are part of our reality. Because we're Filipino because of those traits.
Yeah.
And if we want to move forward as a people, we need to be willing to reflect, to challenge these norms, because these toxic Filipino traits are almost becoming normal. If we don't do something about it, to choose better ways of thinking and behaving. So if we let go of the traits that weigh us down, so yeah, we would probably live better society where these toxic Filipino traits doesn't ring a bell to those younger generations. Yeah. So let's continue with the conversations without judgment. Anyway, yeah, what can you say about Marites culture? When we say Marites, this is the word that coined with being gossiper or something like that.
Was it
Monger.
It's like the Filipino version of Karen.
Yeah.
International Karen. It's in local it's Marites.
Yeah, the gossip that crosses into judgment or harm. Even though some gossips that our Marites Filipino people would like to participate in during afternoon sessions, some of these gossips tend to harm the personal lives of everybody. Like, huy, nakita ko yung anak ni Aling Bebang kahapon lang. Bakit may kasama siyang ibang lalaki? Iba yung ano niya, boyfriend. Kind of like that. So, Marites culture was, do you think it's harmful in some ways?
In all of ways.
In all of ways.
In all of ways, but I'm going to add something positive about it.
Okay.
No,
You can
I think a lot of, I think most of us, I mean, all people, when we say Marites is something negative, diba guys? But, I've read a study about being Marites na kaya daw, mababa yung crime natin sa mga serial killers because of
the
this
Marites?
toxic trait.
What do you
Kasi,
mean by
for example, if we have this neighbor, lahat tayo kilala ng neighbors natin, especially in the province, di ba?
Oh, yes.
So, when someone sees you going out late at night, uy, sinika, may kasama, for example, okay, sinika, may kasama, hindi namin kilala yun. O, di ba? So, it's more of, I know there's a deeper study behind it, but I think there's a point onto why has our serial killings stats are lower than in America, kasi in the West countries they don't care about you.
Yeah.
Diba?
So
They don't
everybody
care about you, so
shuts up.
yeah, so when somebody's being murdered in their house, inside their house, then when the police comes and then asks other neighbors, they would just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I get your point.
Diba? But when Filipino, you can just like
Parang
Literally-
kalabog lang ng kabilang
literally
bahay.
a lot of people, even when someone shouts in the middle of the night,
Yeah.
mabubulabog
Pupulabog lahat ng taong natutulog. Sa laig lang ng kabilang bahay.
Kasi everybody believes in what they see and what they hear. Mostly what they hear.
Even if it's not the real
Because
issues.
being Marites, diba? Someone in our town would say na, uy, yan yung Marites natin, so alam niya lahat ng chika.
Yeah. So si Aling Bebang talagang may alam ng lahat ng tao dito.
One strong evidence is that like sa mga news natin, have you observed like when there's like a fire or like a crime, yung like if it happened na maraming bahay dito, ganyan. Tapos may reporter, yung in-interview nila is kapitbahay. Like, yung witness. Yeah, so,
It's helpful in a
Yeah.
positive way. So, a bottom line, the gossip culture, this Marites culture, which we tend to say that one of the toxic Filipino culture really helps in some ways, which is help solving a crime or something.
Yeah, but for sure, it does harm than good.
Yes.
So,
does that mean we're toxic? To appreciate this trait?
that's the only positive thing I know about Marites.
Okay.
Yeah, so that I guess it's like a yin yang thing. Like in almost everything, it's like there's good and bad, and then there's bad and good.
Yeah. Kind of like.
It's a great example. Like I didn't even think about like those situations, but yeah, because most of the things that I've heard about Marites is like very damaging. Like people like it's connected to like the Hiya culture.
Yeah.
Because like people don't want to do this because there are Marites outside.
Pinangunahan na of what's real.
Yes, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Marites. I'm still like I believe more on the negative part of it.
Yeah, true. Mostly negative than positive.
Okay, so at the end of the day, we don't have to let, toxic traits define what it means to be Filipino because, Filipinos are known for being hospitable. Let's try to practice these good traits to bury these toxic Filipino traits. We can keep the good or our warmth or our strength or our sense of humor and leave behind the habits that hold us back. So kind of like So let's talk about these things more, call them out kindness, and more importantly, try to do better.
Thanks for tuning in today's episode, guys. If you enjoyed it, be sure to follow and share it with someone who needs a little unfiltered talk. We love to hear your thoughts, so don't forget to leave a comment and let us know what you think. Until next time, stay curious and keep your mind over chatter.
Thank you. Yeah.